I couldn't move. That was the first betrayal, my own body turning against me, heavy like wet cement. Ignoring every quiet command, I begged it to follow. The room smelled of antiseptic and old curtains, dust pressing faintly against the window. Then I heard the door. Not a creak, just the pause. Careful, practiced, my sister's shadow slid across the floor. She didn't step closer. She didn't need to. She leaned in just enough for me to hear her breathing and said softly, almost kindly, "Just make it look natural." Footsteps answered her, slow, confident. A stranger's weight testing the floorboards of my childhood room. I tried to scream. Nothing came out. I thought that was the end of my story. It wasn't. Before betrayal, there's always a memory that feels clean. I remembered her braiding my hair as storms rolled in, a time when trust didn't feel dangerous, when blood still meant loyalty. Later, when I met him, I thought I understood the difference between love and dependence. He admired my calm, my precision. Said it made him feel safe. I confused admiration with respect. We built a life on routines: coffee at 6, comfortable silence, promises that didn't need repeating. And my sister was always there. Too available. Too involved. I told myself family fills the gaps. I ignored the looks they shared when they thought I wasn't watching. The body knows long before the mind is ready to admit it. Conversation stopped when I entered the room. Laughter softened into polite smiles. My phone felt lighter. Messages gone. Call logs wiped clean. I noticed a new cologne on his jacket. Noticed how my sister began correcting me in front of others gently. Publicly, the way you test whether someone still holds authority. I didn't confront them. I watched. The truth arrived quietly. A tablet left charging. A message preview long enough to tell me everything. Not passion, logistics, timing, money. I didn't cry. Something colder settled inside me. When the illness came sudden, convenient, unexplained, they closed in like experts. Doctors spoke carefully. My sister took control. My husband signed papers. I listened. I remembered. They thought weakness meant ignorance. Instead, it sharpened me. I planned from inside: stillness from a body that couldn't move, and a mind that could track, predict, and remember. I learned their schedules. I learned who they trusted. I learned who they underestimated. I signed nothing without witnesses. I recorded everything they said near my bed. I let them believe I drifted in and out. Let them think I was already fading. Power always shows itself when it thinks it's safe. The night she left the door slightly open, I knew the plan was complete. Footsteps crossed my room. But the man who entered didn't rush. He stopped. He looked at me. Then he spoke, and everything shifted. "I'm not here for you," he said calmly. "I'm here for her." The silence shattered. My sister stepped in too fast, her confidence slipping as she demanded answers. She wasn't owed any. That's when the stranger the investigator identified himself. Financial crimes, coercion, attempted murder by proxy. Words hit harder when they're backed by evidence. He wasn't alone. Cameras blinked. Other voices filled the hallway. The door opened wider than she ever meant it to. She tried to run. She didn't make it far. Recovery is a strange kind of rebirth. People expect tears, gratitude, closure. I gave them patience instead. Lying in my hospital bed, I watched my sister's life fall apart piece by piece: accounts frozen, property seized. Friends questioned. The man I once trusted tried to bargain. I didn't see him. My lawyer did. I had already signed new papers weeks earlier, while they were busy planning my exit. I'd moved assets, shifted control, protected myself with layers they never thought to search for because they believed I was powerless. They were wrong. The confrontation came months later in a bright room with no shadows. My sister sat across from me, reaching for familiarity in her voice. I didn't offer it. I spoke once. I told her I knew the moment she stopped treating me like family and started treating me like inventory. I told her betrayal doesn't need hatred, only opportunity and justification. I told her she mistook my silence for weakness. She cried. I stood. That was when I reclaimed my body. Now, lying awake in a room I chose, I replay that first night: the door, the whisper, the footsteps. She thought she was ending something. She was starting it. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I waited. And when I finally spoke, the truth did what it always does. It walked in calmly and took its place.